It is absolutely an uptick. We have seen an increase in gender-based violence and in the rate of femicides, women being killed by partners or former partners.
With resources stretched to their limit and 5 possible femicides in the last 5 weeks, with the most recent on June 17th, organizations working with women are calling on the government for more support and urgent action, saying the government has an obligation to prevent, protect, and respond to gender-based violence.
The reality is, because of the housing crisis, there are bottlenecks in shelters. So normally a woman might stay for a few weeks or maybe a few months. The stays are getting longer and longer. They're no longer really emergency shelters.
These bottlenecks are causing long wait lists, and according to the Fédération des Maisons d'Hébergement pour Femmes, 12,000 requests for shelter have been denied due to a lack of space.
We need more shelter places in Quebec for sure, in Canada. And there have been expansions in the number of units and beds and affordable housing options, but they're just not enough.
And what's worse, women who are lucky enough to be accepted in a shelter in the first place often can't find long-term safe housing once they leave.
We found that a sizable number of women that were in a shelter would go back to their abusive relationship. I think it was 16% this year.
But the lack of investments in primary and secondary shelters isn't the only factor putting victims of violence at risk. It's also the lack of funding to external services, which the FMHF says they had 40,000 external requests that had to be sent to member houses. Investing heavily in follow-up care is essential because women need to know that they don't just have to live in a shelter to get help. Organizations are also asking for long-term government investments in training police and family members to identify the warning signs of abuse to work on preventing the violence.
It's essential that the police services and the legal services in Quebec have increased funding and training to recognize red flags.
Loved ones are the best safety net. They need to be made aware and understand the dynamics to recognize the red flags and understand why they stay.
I always speak to the victims, and should there be a victim listening, please call 911, SOS Violence Conjugale, or the Shield of Athena, and we'll give you all the assistance that you need.
And if you fear you may become violent towards your partner, call Pro-GAM for an appointment at 514-270-8462. In Montreal, Corinne Boyer, City News.